participants. I request all the participants to kindly mute themselves when they join.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to all.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Today's webinar on electronic interlocking, a long awaited webinar. All of you are welcome to this. I am Narayan Parvatikar from Railway Academy. I am a retired railway signaling engineer. For about 27 years, I worked on the Indian Railways. Then I worked with the different companies for Scient, Ansaldo, STS, Hitachi, Tech Mahindra, CMC, now it is TCS, and Kalpataru Power Transmission. Recently, in 2018, 2020, I joined Railway Academy. Railway Academy was established in 2016. We started first the PG diploma course. 1 year of PG diploma we started. It is being run from Raid Bahara University in Mohali and from MS Ramaiah University in Bangalore. It is a job guaranteed course for 11 months for all the engineers. Other than civil and mechanical, they are eligible for this course, a PG diploma in railway signaling and telecommunication. Apart from this PG diploma, we also conduct the training courses, various training courses, like certificate course in railway signaling, designers course for signal designers, RAMS training, EMI, EMC, functional safety, data management. So these are the different courses we conduct on our platform. There was a demand for this electronic interlocking since long. So we thought first, let us have a webinar. Let us tell what exactly we'll be covering in this webinar, in this electronic interlocking classes. Keeping that in the mind, we have today the webinar. I welcome again all of you for this wonderful webinar. With me, Mr. Sumit Kanu, who is the marketing head of Railway Academy, has joined.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
So he will be telling about the commercials for this training course. During the presentation, whatever doubts you are having, probably keep the doubts at the last. Maybe in the session, you will get those doubts cleared. So I request everybody to kindly keep patience, kindly have a patience so that we'll be covering all the details here. I welcome again all the participants. So let us see here. We'll be covering what is interlocking. As the name goes, electronic interlocking. First, let us understand what is interlocking. Followed by interlocking, we'll be talking about the different systems which are adopted, which are used to achieve this interlocking. And the heart of the signaling system, the table of control. What is the table of control? We also covered the structure of electronic interlocking. Electronic interlocking was introduced way back in 1975-80 on the Indian Railways. Let us study the structure of electronic interlocking. What are the different makes? There are more than half a dozen companies who are manufacturing these different products of electronic interlocking. What are the different inputs we need to give to electronic interlocking? What do you mean by these inputs? Especially the vital and non-vital. Which are the vital inputs? Which are the non-vital inputs? That is very important for electronic interlocking, and also communication-based train control system, computer interlocking. For all these interlocking systems, the vital and non-vital inputs are very important. That we'll understand not only during this webinar, but also during the detailed training followed by this webinar. What are the external peripherals connected to the electronic equipment? That we'll study. We will be studying more in detail in the detailed training on these external peripherals, how they are getting connected to the EI system. What are the inputs we give for that? Bit chart. Bit chart is again prepared based on different documents. So we'll study here what are the different documents based on which we'll prepare the bit chart. What are the softwares? As the name goes here, electronic. The moment you talk of electronic, it goes with the software. So what are the software we are covering here? Out of that, application logic. What is application logic? How it is prepared? What for it is prepared? These doubts or these clarifications you will have in the detailed training also. What exactly is the application logic and compilation? Many of you are computer engineers or electronic engineers who have learned C, C++, wherein you are doing the compilation. Even here in electronic interlocking, we go with the compilation. Then comes the interface design. What are the external peripherals? How we are connecting them? Let us have the interfacing design, how they are interfaced with the EI system, electronic interlocking system. What are the operating panels? Operating panels are used by the operating staff, the station masters. What are these operating panels? Once the electronic interlocking is ready, there will be a test conducted in the factory, a factory acceptance test. What is the meaning of this factory acceptance test? Why it is conducted? How it is conducted? Equally, once the EI system is installed at site, we also conduct there a site acceptance test. What is the difference between a factory acceptance test and the site acceptance test? How it is conducted? What is the detailed procedure for that? I hope Sumit will be assisting me for replying on the chart. I can see here about 10 different messages. Kindly attend to them, Sumit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Then also we cover what are the troubleshooting. These contents, what now I'm telling you, some may not be covered more in detail in the webinar, but definitely they will be covered more in detail in the training session. I will give more detail about the training, how many hours of training, when we are conducting it, what is the commercial for that, and who are eligible to attend that training. What is the maintenance? There is a maintenance. There are maintenance activities for electronic interlocking also. What are those maintenance activities for the electronic interlocking? Earthing plays an important role. What should be the earth resistance, especially for all these electronic equipments and electronic interlocking system? How the earth should be prepared and what should be the maximum value of this earthing you will be studying. And lastly, we will be covering here who can attend it, who can attend this training, who are eligible to attend this training. And you will have again, as usual, question and answers. So you are open to ask questions there. Then comes the last sabse bada rupaya, commercials. What are the commercials for this training? What are the different fees you can pay? So these are in general the contents of the webinar today. I again request all the participants, thanking them to join this, for listening carefully. The complete slides, maybe about 40 slides are there. We'll go through this. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask in question and answers session. Or else you can just type your doubts which will be clarified by Sumit, who is with me here. I start with today's webinar with Galib's share. मिर्जा गालिब साहब का एक बड़ा शेयर है खबर गर्म उनके आने की, है खबर गर्म उनके आने की, आज ही घर में बोरिया ना हुआ। आज मेरे साथ सभी है, आप सभी मेरे साथ है, कम वक्त मेरा गला मुझे हाथ दे दिया, दर्द मिन्नत कसे दवा ना हुआ, मैं ना अच्छा हुआ बुरा ना हुआ। Today I have some throat problem, so I'll be talking a little slowly. I hope it is audible to all. If there is any problem, kindly ping it, kindly ping a message. Again, I request everybody, all participants, kindly mute yourself. When you join, kindly mute so that you will be able to listen. Now, what is interlocking? What the operator wants? The station master is the head of the station. He will be controlling different equipments. In fact, what is interlocking? There are two words here. One is inter and other one is locking. Different components used for train running system, for safety train running system, like points, signals, level crossing gates, tracks, they are all internally interlocked through the different systems. The station master is not worried about what type of interlocking system we have. He is only interested to see that the trains are running safely. On which road he is receiving a train, on that road, on that line, the train runs safely. He is interacting with various equipments like points, signals, level crossing gates. He is interacting with them through the human machine interface. In earlier days, we had a mechanical interlocking. A liver man used to be there, a cabin man used to be there. You might have seen some old movies where you will come across just liver frames. Nowadays, they are almost obsolete. Indian Railway is having very few installations who are using the liver frame. This human machine interface may be a mechanical one, or maybe a panel, or maybe a touch screen. With whom he is interacting? With which are the components with whom he is interacting? He is interacting with points. He is interacting with level crossing gate. Finally, he will take off the signal. Achieving the safety, a signal will be taken off as per the command given by the station master. As I mentioned, the station master is not interested to know what type of interlocking you are using. He is assisted by the safety system. Those safety systems are the mechanical lever frame. We have a set of locking below this lever frame. In earlier days, we had it. Then came the next generation of relay interlocking. Then came the present one is electronic interlocking, which we'll be studying. So with this electronic interlocking, we are achieving the safety to the highest level. The safety level is highest with electronic interlocking system or computer-based interlocking system, where we say it is safety integrity level 4, SIL 4. All the components of electronic interlocking or computer-based interlocking or communication-based interlockings are suitable for SIL 4. They are certified for SIL 4, safety integrity level. Interlocking is a process. In olden days, probably our grandmothers, they used to cook the food on the chula. And this chula was almost made in the house itself. The ladies, they used to make, or maybe some gents in the house, they used to help them to prepare it. For example, they are preparing the rice. To prepare the rice, what are the ingredients? We want raw rice, water, and a vessel. To cook it, a fuel. So these are the ingredients and the process is through the fuel. The wood was used for cooking the rice. And as you know, most of you might have seen your grandmothers cooking this. Complete house will be having a smoke, people will be coughing. And that was the reason why this was afterwards ruled out. Next generation came this pump stove with the kerosene. But the ingredients remains the same. Same raw rice, same water, and same vessel. But the process changed, the fuel changed. The advantage of chula was, the firewood was, if there is any damage, the people in the house, they used to repair. Probably your grandmother used to repair it. Or sometimes she will call you as a boy or a girl, young boy and girls, you used to repair it. Once this stove came, if there is a leakage of the pressure, probably you used to take it for repair. Slowly, an external agency is added here to repair the pump stove, kerosene stove. Next generation came with the LPG stove, which is soundless, pollution, no pollution, but the ingredients remains the same. The same water, same raw rice, and same vessel. Only the process changes. And our involvement in repairing this is almost nil. If the LPG stove is not working, is not functioning, we will call an external repair, a guy who repairs it. He will charge visiting fees, plus he will repair it and charge for the parts, whatever he is replacing it. Next came the micro oven. Presently, you are working with the micro oven. The same rice is cooked, the same raw rice, same water, same vessel, but the process is changed. It means as the technology advances, even though the ingredients are the same, but the process is differing. And as you advance in the process, our involvement is less. If the micro oven is becoming defective, we will not be dare enough to touch it. We will straightway go to the vendor who has sold it to us. If it is during the warranty, he will replace it or he will repair it. Otherwise, you have to condemn and purchase another one off the shelf. Interlocking also same. The basic ingredients are the principles of interlocking, the 4 rules which are ruling the interlocking system. These are the ingredients. And the process was mechanical interlocking in earlier days, then followed by electromechanical interlocking. Third generation was with relay interlocking, and presently we are having with electronic interlocking or computer-based interlocking. And as I compared with the rice preparation, as you advance in the technology, probably our involvement is less. Our involvement is only stopping at preparing the control table, the table of control. So as a signal engineers, we need to know first the table of control, preparation of a signal interlocking plan, preparing the table of control based on the SIP signal interlocking plan. There our role ends. The role of the OEM starts. Other equipment manufacturers, they start. They will manufacture as per your requirement. What is the requirement? Table of control. As per our requirement, they will manufacture it. So this is the process. What I mean to say here is, as far as electronic interlocking is concerned, even though we cover here the maintenance, but in my view, the best maintenance is stand before the interlocking system, उसको हाथ जोड़ो, अरे भैया आप ठीक से काम करो बोलो बस है, उससे ज्यादा उसको मेंटेन करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, because everything is done by the outsiders, by the OEMs who are doing it. As an interlocking system, we need to specify the requirement for new system. What is the requirement? Need to know the basis like SIP, signal interlocking plan, and the principles of interlocking, table of control. These are the basic for us. We need to know as a signal engineers, no change in this. Whatever may be the process, it can be mechanical interlocking or it can be electronic interlocking, computer-based interlocking. The basic things have not changed. A signal interlocking plan, a principles of interlocking, and the table of control. They have not changed. Any new system is a change in the process with fundamental ingredients. The ingredients are same. Only the process will change. From firewood cooking to electronic interlocking or computer-based interlocking, the process has changed. But the fundamentals remain the same. Our involvement is less. That is an advantage. The greatest advantage in the advanced technologies, our involvement is less. Getting a knowledge is very good. We have to learn everything. But the best thing, in my opinion, is let us understand what to learn, what not to learn, what to study, what not to study. The thing which is, I'm not connected with that, I'm not manufacturing it, I'm not maintaining it, there is no use of studying about that. Let us study the topics which are adopted well by us, like preparation of SIP, principles of interlocking, table of control. Based on that, developing the application logic, comparing it, conducting the factory acceptance test, conducting the site acceptance test. If those things are otherwise learned, that is quite enough. Instead of going more into the detail, what are the cards, what are the components in each card, how they are prepared, it is not our food at all. It is not our cup of tea at all. No maintenance. All new equipments are going with this. No maintenance or less maintenance. No repairs. Change the components when defective. That is another advantage. If a card is defective, just remove it and put another card. It works. You need not repair the components. Self-diagnostic. In olden days, we used to go to doctor to measure our blood pressure. The doctor used to put some pata on our arm, left hand arm, and he will pump some this one, and he will tell, oh, you are having very high BP, you have to take some medicines, stop salt. All such things the doctor will be telling us. But now you have the machine which can be kept in the home. You can keep it. You can measure your blood pressure on your own. You need not go to a doctor. Self-diagnostic. The system will diagnose itself. It will tell this is the fault. This is the problem. Attend to that. So there is another advantage of the advanced technologies. OEM supports other equipment manufacturers who are all manufacturing this advanced system like electronic interlocking or computer-based interlocking, who are all manufacturing them, they will be supported. This was the mechanical interlocking. Next came the relay interlocking. And now we are having electronic interlocking. I have taken the photograph of one particular product. There are different products we'll be discussing here. What are the different products of the electronic interlocking? There is a tabulation form to satisfy conditions of principles of interlocking. That is the table of control. The table of control or control table, what we say, based on the principles of interlocking for a particular specific station or a specific signal interlocking plan. It is a tabulation form, maybe an Excel sheet, in which you form all this. Then various columns in that we need to study. What are the various columns in table of control? Out of that, the important is route setting. That the table of control mainly it gives the route setting on which route you are receiving it. Then you are satisfying the conditions of route setting. We are not stopping there. We are going ahead with route holding also. We need to hold the route. Apart from this, we also see locking of conflicting signals. However, in this session, I will not be covering what you mean by conflicting session, what you mean by route setting, how to achieve the route setting, how to achieve the route holding. For that, we have other training activities, other training programs like certificate course or designer's course or PG diploma course, where the people can attend and learn about that. Then safety of level crossing gate, how it is achieved through the principles of interlocking. That also will be tabulated in the table of control. The operator, the station master. This operator will now interact with the human machine interface, a panel. As I said in the earlier days, we had a mechanical lever frame, followed by a panel with a knob or a push button. Nowadays, with the touch screen or with the mouse, he can operate a command, the interface between the operator and the equipments, safety equipments. In electronic interlocking, he will interact with the electronic equipment. The heart of that one is CPU, Central Processing Unit. Naturally, it requires a power supply. More important is input-output cards, which we have to decide what inputs to be given, what are the outputs from that. What are the inputs? We will take the inputs from the field. It's very interesting to know here that these inputs were the same in mechanical interlocking, are the same in relay interlocking, and also are the same in electronic equipment. Electronic interlocking, even computer-based interlocking or communication-based train control system equipments. Inputs are the same. What are the inputs? Point indication, in which position the point is set. Signal readback indication, in what is the aspect the signal is displaying, whether the track is occupied or clear, and whether the level crossing gate is closed or open. These are the field inputs. Taking these field inputs, based on the command issued by the station master, the electronic equipment processes the logic, which is based on the table of control. And if everything is okay, if it is safe, it gives the output to operate the point, to take over the signal, and also before that, closing of the level crossing gate ensures whether the gate can be opened or gate needs to be closed. And actually, we need to give a feedback to the operator, the station master, what is the point setting, in what position the point is set, what is the route on which he is receiving a train, the portion of the route, whether the track is occupied or not. As a colorless signal goes, the station master needs to know what is the aspect displayed by the signal at location, a signal indication, and whether the level crossing gate is closed or open. This is the structure of electronic interlocking. We are more interested in the input-output cards, which are based on field inputs and field outputs. We are also interested in how the information to be given to the station master. And the CPU consisting of application logic, how the application logic is prepared. These are the different companies, I have mentioned few, who are manufacturing the electronic equipment. Some more companies may come further, but presently Indian Railway goes with mostly one of these electronic equipment. It is left to the railways. It is left to the policymakers which product should be selected. But for all products, the process is same. What are the inputs we require to prepare a signal interlocking plan? We will be dealing more in detail exercises, how you do it. That will be covered in our detailed training session. We need first approved SIP, signal interlocking plan. And the approved front plate drawing, that is the human machine interface, the operating panel, that drawing we require. We also need the approved selection table or the control table, table of control. All these are documents issued by the railways, which should be approved. We need to take only the approved documents. Power supply scheme we have to be given for electronic equipment. What is the output for that also? Then the relay room building layout is the part of the designing document where the EI equipment should be placed, where the data locker to be placed, how it has to integrate with the relays, external relays, and where is the power supply room, equipment room. A relay room building layout is a part of designing of EI system. Details of additional interlocking interfaces attached to this. Maybe this particular station EI may be communicating with other electronic equipments. How that has to be given. Now coming to the vital inputs and non-vital inputs. In general, all the inputs and outputs from the external gear are taken as vital, like point indications, signal feedback indication, track circuit indication, level crossing gate, whether open or closed indication, all are belonging to field which are taken as vital inputs. Equally vital outputs are same. To operate the point, a command to be given. To open the level crossing gate, a command to be given. Changing the signal aspect, a command to be issued. They are all vital outputs. In general, connected with the external gears are vital inputs or outputs. They are vital information. We take extra care for this by giving a double cutting. I hope most of you are signal engineers. You might have learned what you mean by double cutting. And also it is because of safety, we go with the double cutting for vital inputs or vital outputs. Now coming to non-vital. Non-vital in general is connected to the operating panel, human-machine interface. Whatever command station master is issuing, that is taken as input for the electronic interlocking, a non-vital input. Once the points are set, once the signal is taken off, we give the information to the station master in what position the point is set and what is the signal aspect at site it is displaying. They are the non-vital output. The input and outputs are with respect to the electronic equipment, nothing to do with the station master or nothing to do with the field gates. They are to do with only EI equipment. In detailed training, you will be learning more on this. How these vital inputs are prepared, input outputs are prepared, how the non-vital input output are prepared. You will be learning it more in detail in the detailed training course. This is in general how the electronic equipment functions. The station master, through the operating panel, will give the command. I will just show here with the laser pointer. The station master will give the command, which are taken as non-vital input to the microcontroller-based application logic and executive logic electronic interlocking. Once the command is processed and if everything is safe, it gives the vital output through the interfacing relays. And why these interfacing relays are required? What is the need of that? We will study in our detailed training program. And based on this vital output, through the relay interfacing, we'll operate the points and signals level crossing gate. Once they are operated, now the feed will go back, the read back. The feedback will come to the relay, through the relay interfacing relays to electronic interlocking. And from there, the indications are provided to the station master. This is how, in general, the electronic interlocking system works. And it is a continuous process. You have a control panel. From there, you are going with the electronic interlocking system, which are operating the relays through the relay interface. The field gears are being operated. And again, we are going with the operating VDU, the maintainer's VDU. The maintainer only can see what is happening. He cannot give command, which will help him to diagnose the fault, whether the fault is internal or external. That he will be seeing. Operating VDU is again, as you see, a normal visual display unit like a TV screen or a computer screen through which the station master will be knowing what is happening in the field. So this is a sort of a SIP, a signal networking plan, wherein we'll be discussing about more about how many types of signals are there. Out of that, how many are 2 aspect, 3 aspect, 4 aspect signals, how many shunt signals are there, how many calling on signals are there. All these informations have to be taken from SIP. Then comes the operating panel. This is the operating panel. From the operating panel, how many indications to be given, how many point indications to be given, what are the different push buttons here, what are the command he gives. All these are taken as non-vital input. And indication given is non-vital output to this panel: track indication, point indication, level crossing gate indication, route set indication, route clearing indication, route clear indication. Different indications are provided from the electronic equipment as a non-interlocking, non-vital in outputs. This is now called as a bit chart. Now, what is bit? Bit is nothing but a relay contact. So probably most of you are aware of what you mean by relay interlocking. In the relay interlocking, what contact we are using, each relay is taken as 1 bit. So this bit chart is the basic or fundamental document to be prepared for electronic equipment, electronic interlocking, which is based on the signal interlocking plan and also based on the operating panel diagram, the front plate diagram. Based on that, it is prepared. In the detailed training course, we will be learning about it. You will be preparing a bit chart. As I said, irrespective of the product, whatever product Indian Railway is using or across the world they are using, the documents which are generally prepared by the signal designers, those things will be discussed in the detailed class. So you will have an exercise on this. The trainer will tell you how to prepare it, and you will have an exercise. To complete the training successfully, it is quite necessary for all of you to do the exercises given. You will be the perfect designer for electronic interlocking. It is a centralized system and we have a distributed system. And let me also understand what you mean by the concept of object controller, which is used for electronic interlocking. We have something called as object controller. What are the object controllers? It can be a centralized system or it can be a distributed system with object controllers. Now, as far as object controllers are concerned, this is a central electronic system, a master. The representative of that are placed in the field called as object controllers. They are communicating with the central interlocking system through the optic fiber communication. And from this object controller, through the external relays, interfacing relays, the field gears are operated and the field gear information is taken into consideration. What is the advantage of this? In absence of the object controller, we have to lay the cable from the central room, from the relay room, to all the gears here. Kilometers of cables are used. The cables are very costly. Major chunk of the project amount used to go only for cables, purchasing the cable and laying the cable. Now, with the advancement of optic fiber communication, it is very easy for us to get communicated with the object controller. And controlling from object controller to field gear, even though it is a physical cable, a signaling cable, but the length is very less. Drastically, the expenditure is coming down. And another advantage with optic fiber communication is a ring communication is given. If one path is broken, somewhere damaged, it will be working with other path. That is another advantage of optic fiber communication. So in the detailed training program, you will be learning about how these object controllers are being interfaced, how they are getting connected with the central interlocking system. There are two types of softwares here. As far as electronic interlocking is concerned, there are two types of softwares. One is executive software and another one is application software. Executive software, which will satisfy the principles of interlocking, which is common for a particular product. Whatever you name, different companies name you do, it is same for all the equipments, like your operating system. It is same. Application software is specific to particular station. And as a designer, we need to prepare this application software. Based on what? Based on the table of control, based on the SIP, based on the bit chart. We will prepare the application software. So the more detailed training will be covering more in detail. What is the application software? What is the flow of application software? And how it is being prepared. As you know, the operating systems are different for Android and for your other systems. In the same fashion, even the application software is different for with the different languages for the different OEM manufacturers, which will not be covering more in detail. We will be only covering here what is the application launch software structure, how it is being prepared. Maybe one or two examples of a particular product will be given. As people are attending from different people with the different products or different knowledge they are attending, it is not important for us here to cover a particular product. It is not only covering the particular product, we need to go for the next compilation. We need to have a separate software for that, which should be available only with the concerned manufacturers. So in this detailed training program, you will be learning about the structure of application software. And if any group of people or a company requests us, Railway Academy, for conducting on a particular product, yes, we will conduct on a particular product for that group to prepare the application software. But in this electronic equipment, electronic interlocking training session, we will cover the structure of application software based on what it is prepared. Probably one or two examples of different makes will be given here. Application program is another form of interlocking circuit. The relay circuits which we used to prepare based on the table of control is now being replaced by application program based on the SIP, signal interlocking plan, route control chart, and a front plate drawing. It is based on that. What is the structure of that? How it is generally prepared? What are the statements? What are the different symbols you use? Already, as you are aware, in relay interlocking, we use the front contact, back contact, relay symbols, different way we are preparing. British Railway system is symbols are different. Siemens interlocking, relay interlocking symbols are different. But the table of control remains the same. The front plate drawing remains the same. SIP also remains the same. It is only the process which changes. Equally, as we go with the different types of relay interlocking, Siemens and British, here also, each company has adopted their own language. Some may be writing in word format, some may be writing in ladder format, or some may be writing in some other format. It depends upon the particular product. Written in the form of equations called as Boolean equations. So the Boolean equations are very important for a particular product. A particular manufacturer uses particular Boolean equation format. All the relays used in the conventional circuit are called as bit. So we know different relays here, NWKR, RWKR, WLR, ASR, you name the relays. All these relays are called as one bit. When you use electronic interlocking, the relay numbers are almost 80% reduced. We are only keeping the interfacing relays. Almost all logical relays like ASR, UCR, RR, these relays are converted to a system by itself. They are all virtual relays. Physical relays are not there. Physical relays which are connected in driving the external gates and getting the feedback from the external gates are existing, which are being interfaced with the electronic equipment. Once you write a application logic, like your C language or C++ language, after writing the logic, you compile it. There is a compiler. And the compiler will give you the errors as far as the syntax is concerned. Whether you have written correctly or not, whether you have used the correct syntax or not, only that much it gives. But it will not give you whether the program is written is suitable for the vendor or not, for the user or not. That is not being done. In the same fashion, product-based compilers for compiling the application logic, it only compiles whatever logic you have written, it is correct or not, and all the syntaxes are correctly used or not. Results of compiler saved in the different files and which are being done in the chip creates a security pin checksum. You will be learning more about all this in the detailed training program. To be installed in CPU, this particular chip has to be installed in central processing unit of electronic equipment. Where to install it, how to install it, we'll cover more in detail in the detailed training program. And more importantly, it is unique for each station. As most of you are aware of the signal engineering, the table of control is prepared for each station and it is unique for particular station. All the stations are having same points, same level crossing gate, same signals, same track circuits. But the table of control differs. I cannot use table of control of A station to B station. It has to be prepared on its own, separate. In the same fashion, the application logic written for a particular station will work only for that station. It is unique for each station. We need to prepare it separately. Even the table of control has to be prepared separately for each station individually, independently, without taking into consideration the other station. It is unique for that. Interfacing design, the microlock. I have taken the example of microlock here, Hitachi make electronic equipment, which will be interacting with external relays, that is interfacing relays, and the cable termination board, from where you will take the information connected to the station master operating panel. And also it is coming with the power supply. What power supply I need? These are the external peripherals. Apart from this, the external peripherals may be other electronic equipment system with which it is talking, it is communicating. That also then becomes the external peripheral. How to connect it? What is the program we have to write for that? All those details we will be studying in detailed training program. There are more messages. I hope Sumit is rather giving them the suitable answers. The other messages or other queries, probably I will attend to them once I go with the questions and answers. So this is the operating panel, maybe with the knobs. I have taken with the knobs, which is being done. Backside of this, maybe a relay interlocking or maybe electronic interlocking, it does not matter. But this is the operating panel. This operating panel can be a video also. From the video, we can have the operating panel, or it can be a press button type, another type of video. So these are the different operating panels, video use or the human machine interfaces, which has to be integrated, which has to be connected with the electronic equipment. Just first in electronic equipment. electronic interlocking. What are the different tests we have to conduct here? Number one is a factory acceptance test. Factory acceptance test is conducted in the factory as the name goes. Whatever application logic I have written, is it safe to work or not, will be done at factory acceptance test. Before the product is coming out, any product for that matter, you see, maybe a ceiling fan, maybe your microwave oven, maybe electrical iron, whatever equipment you take, which are manufactured in factories, they have been tested. They have been tested for the correct performances. The integrity of the interlocking inside EI designed for a specific station tested at factory. The integrity interlocking inside of the EI designed for a specific station is tested at factory in the factory environment. Site acceptance test, fine, it is good for the factory. In the factory, I will test it with a simulation. But once I connect it at site with the interfacing equipments like external gates like points, signals, level crossing gate, track circuits, whether this application logic, whatever we have prepared, will work satisfactorily or not. That is site acceptance test. Both this factory acceptance test and site acceptance test has to be conducted in presence of the railway representatives, the railway officers, signaling and telecommunication officers nominated for that has to witness this and sign the document. It has to be tested in their presence. And it is their requirement. It is the requirement of the railways. Based on the requirement of the railways, we have prepared the application logic. Is it satisfying their requirement or not? Has to be tested. When the interlocking is installed at site and interface wiring is connected, the test carried out for relay interlocking is called as site acceptance test. Even for relay interlocking or for electronic interlocking, when you connect it at site, it is called as site acceptance test. FAT and SAT should be done by separate officials wherever possible. This is very important. Because if the same person does, probably the mistakes may repeat. Whatever mistakes he has done for FAT, it may repeat for SAT, site acceptance test. If it is done by two different people, it is better that some flaws, some faults, if at all they are available, they are existing, they can be eliminated. Factory acceptance test. Now, we will go little detail in factory acceptance test, how it is, why it is, where it is, how it is conducted. However, in again detailed training course also, you will be going more in detail. Let me just check up here what are the different messages people have typed. Good evening. First are all good evening are there. Thank God, goodbyes are not there. Good evening. And Mr. Sumit message is there. Then good evening. Voice is not audible. It is audible to everybody. Voice, good evening, everyone. Voice is audible. No much technical questions are given here. CFAT, yeah. CFAT, CSAT and CPAT are the same like FAT India, factory acceptance test and site acceptance test, which will be dealt more in detail in the detailed training program. So kindly repeat once again. I don't know what exactly he wanted to repeat, what portion he wanted to repeat. Sir, what is the meaning of double cutting? Oh, this is the part of signaling, yeah. Probably your Yuvraj Srinivasan, probably you have to attend one of our signaling course. Then it will be clear for you what you mean by double cutting. What is single cutting and double cutting? Even Vikas Kalia, better to attend our certificate course wherein you will be learning about the single cutting and double cutting, why they are used. This is a very good question. Asraf, Bangladesh, what do you mean by cutting? Don't worry, it is not a hair cutting. It is cutting is used in the relay interlocking circuitry. It has nothing to do with other cutting. Don't worry. Either grass cutting or tree cutting or hair cutting, nothing to do with that. It is a typical word used to prove the contact, single cutting and double cutting. That is called as that. Probably if you attend our certificate course, you are getting more knowledge on that. Already a certificate course program is going on. First module is over. From Monday onwards, I am starting the second module of 25 hours, followed by that 50 hours of relay interlocking I am covering. You can be in touch with the Relay Academy with Sumit. If you want to join in between, if you have some basic knowledge on signaling, you can join in between, or module 3 you can join. If you are not otherwise having a basic knowledge of signaling, I really sincerely advise, please join our certificate course, which will be starting somewhere in the month of October. You can join for that. You will learn more in that. That is specially meant for the people who are employed, certificate course. People can attend it. It is in the evening between 7 to 9. And the PG diploma course is in-house training. People have to attend physically the classes. Till yesterday, it was online class because of Corona. Now, as Corona has almost ran away from us, the coming course will be conducted physically in MS Ramaya University. We are already starting the admissions. People who are interested, they can appear for that. So can I get full details of interlocking? Probably you have to attend our detailed courses. This course, we assume people are having the basic knowledge. With that basic knowledge sort of that, we are going ahead. However, as I go ahead, I will tell you what are the prerequisites, what are the requirements, minimum requirements to attend this training. You can attend to that. So can you get this PPT after the session? Yes, you will get this recording. In the recording, you can go through the PPTs, because my PPTs are only bullet points. There is nothing else there. So if I send you the bullet points, probably you will not be able, it will not of no use. Only thing is you can know the structure of electronic interlocking. I advise you to attend the detailed training of electronic interlocking. And as Srinivasam has asked about double cutting and single cutting also, it is my request, better attend first the certificate course, learning about signaling, relay interlocking, then you can learn any technology. Single cutting, providing this is by Shiva, he has given providing relay contact in the positive side of the circuit, double cutting, positive relay, the positive side and the negative side. Very good, correct. Very apt answer he has given. Compliments to him, Shiva. And proving the control contacts on either side of the relay, that is on the both positive and negative. That is also Ravi Kumar has given a very good answer. And Sumit has given all the, it's one. Front plate drawing and engineering scale plan, both are same or different? Quite different. Quite different. Engineering scale plan is the basic document to prepare the signal interlocking plan. Based on the signal interlocking plan, you will be preparing the front plate drawing. And the Satyam Srivastava is like the Satyam Srivastava is our own person. Then Ravi Kumar is different. He has given CCIP and front plate drawing are same, almost same. And front plate is the panel board called as front plate. So can you tell me how to operate the point operation? Kindly attend the detailed training program. This is by Sunita. And Rajesh has told, yes. Suhib Yadav drawing, I am not sure what exactly the drawing he means. So can explain approach locking. This is not the stage where I can tell you about approach locking, Sunita. You can attend, if you have the basic knowledge of the signaling, you can attend the module 3 of the certificate course, which is now going on. You can attend there. It is purely on the relay interlocking, where I will be starting from the basics of relay interlocking. Certificate course is having 3 modules. Module 1 goes with the basics in signaling, basics of signaling. What are the systems of signals, types of signals, forms of signals, what do you mean by overlap, what do you mean by isolation, how they are achieved, how to prepare a signal interlocking plan. That is covered in the module 1. Module 2 will go with principles of interlocking, how to achieve these 4 principles of interlocking, how to prepare a table of control, bit of table of control. We are learning in module 2, starting from Monday. a 25 hours class. Module 3 is a system engineering, application engineering. How these are applied through the relays, that is being covered. Probably July 1st week, I'll be starting the module 3. If we'll announce it on the LinkedIn, if some people are interested to join module 3 directly, provided they have the basic knowledge of signaling and principles of interlocking, it will help them. Otherwise, my request to all, kindly join the our certificate course, which is the same curriculum, almost same curriculum of PG diploma course of 1 year. Difference is certificate course is online, where we do not guarantee any jobs. But PG diploma, we do guarantee the jobs. At the end of the PG diploma of 1 year, companies will take you, they demand, nowadays that people are demanding, they wanted the PG diploma guys. And we are starting the PG diploma, which the details will be given by Subit. Sir, in EI, how many way to applications, applicable signal and route cancellation possible? You need to attend the detailed training program, wherein the trainer will cover this. Would you provide training on RAMs? Yes, we do provide the training on RAMs, and probably we are conducting the RAMs webinar, if I'm not wrong, on 2nd July. Is it correct to meet on 2nd July?
Yes, sir. I've shared the details. I've shared the details with everyone.
Yeah.
And also the registration link for RAMs. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mr. Vinayak has said also, please explain approach locking, dead approach locking, back locking, track locking, condition locking. Vinayak Jeep need to attend the detailed program. This platform probably is not for that. We'll tell you more in detail once you attend the certificate course. And as I said, you can directly appear for the module 3. You need to appear for an online test to be suitable, to be eligible for module 3, which covers all this: approach locking, dead approach locking, back locking, everything it covers. And why block overlap is only 180 meters? Excellent, very good question, but answer will not be given here. Answer will be given in the detailed certificate course. And if you want, in fact, still this answer to be very specific to you, you can call me on my number. I have given my number on the first one-to-one basis. I will tell you why block overlap is 180 meters and signal overlap is 120 meters. Coming to Yuvraj, is there any video in your channel that how to take pitch chart from SIP? No, we don't have any video. It is an interactive class. We'll be attending you can attend the class and learn about preparing the pitch chart. Pitch chart and SIP, all these things will be taught to you. More than teaching you, it is you who have to practice it. Once you practice it, you are thorough with that. It is not only a teaching like mathematics. Just by reading the mathematics, by listening to the mathematics, we will not learn the mathematics. We have to do it. Then only there is a beauty in the mathematics. Why to keep a distance signal 1,000 meters from home signal? Mean why only 1,000 meters? Yeah, very good question, Ravi Kumar. Better attend our detailed training program, certificate course, wherein you will get this. Braking distance. What is braking distance? We'll cover that. What is PAT? PAT कहाँ use किया यार? PAT तो हमने use ही नहीं किया. FAT use किया. FAT. Good evening, sir. What is front plate drawing? I have already explained. And braking distance according to operational speed. Quite correct. That is the minimum distance only. How to implement PAT and SAT? I am covering just now, and more in detail in the detailed training program. And Nedari told no, sir. When type test of EI will be conducted, that also will be covered in the detailed training program. IRSA license guidance, we are conducting a webinar on IRSA license guidance also. We can provide you the guidance. I will get you connected with the person who will guide you, provided you are working in the designing side. Presently, in India, we have the workplace assessor who are doing IRSA license. They are workplace assessor for licenses only. I mean, for designing only. If you are going for other than designing, then probably it will cost you more. because WPAs, workplace assessors, have to come from other countries. Fact and sight, we are just covering here. Sir, can tell me red lamp protection in the detailed training program, please? And IRC license Sumit has replied. Sir, can we have your contact number? Yeah, I will type it. You can, in the first slide, it was there. When you listen to the recording, you will get it. However, again, I will type in the last. What relay would eliminate in EI? It will be covered in the detailed training program. Please share these slides. Okay, we'll do it. You will be teaching this course or other trainer, and also timing of the course. Yes, just wait for few more slides to go. I will cover that. What is the timing and who will teach that? Sir, module 1 to 3 and this electronic interlocking is same or not? No, it is not same. It is different. Archana, Arun Chavan, it is different. Module 1 to 3 is going with the basics of signaling, principles of interlocking, and concept of relay interlocking. Fundamentals we will learn that. You can adopt it for electronic interlocking, computer-based interlocking, communication-based state control system. Wherever you want, you can apply it. They cover only the basics. And I want to join for certificate course. To whom should I contact? None other than us, either myself or Sumit. You can contact us. Sumit has already given the mail ID and also the contact number he will give you. You can talk to him or you can talk to me. We'll give you the detail. And please follow us on the LinkedIn so that you will get all the information when the next course is being conducted. Now, Sumit is kind enough to give his number. You can talk to him. Sir, is it necessary to do FAT before doing SAT, where FAT error may occur in SAT? Very good question. That will be covered more in detail, Imran Khan, more in detail in the detailed training program. After PG diploma course, what will be the salary packages? Depends upon the company. It depends upon the company. But generally, as we are supporting from the Railway Academy, we insist for the companies or we request to the companies to go with minimum 4 lakhs, not less than 4 lakhs. So as far as possible, we'll assure that a PG diploma guy will get minimum 4 lakhs. But there are cases where the people got about 5.5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, PG diploma guys. Some companies, they gave it. Nowadays, they are valuing it. They are valuing the PG diploma courses. And many companies are demanding the PG diploma guys. They say, if you have any PG diploma guy, please tell us, we'll take them. The demand is very good. How much hike can we expect after PG diploma if I'm currently working as engineer? Again, it depends upon the company. We cannot tell it. It is you who can demand how much hike you want, present, especially when you are working on that. Sir, can provide MTM training. Presently, we have not thought of that. Yes, we will think of that as it is required. We'll go ahead with that.
Can we, sir, get back to the presentation now?
Yeah, sure. I thought of taking a break. We'll continue anyway, no problem. And again, at the end, we'll go ahead with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, going ahead, factory acceptance is performed with the computer simulation. Only the testing of interlocking or application software with reduced time as per SIP and RCC is performed at this stage. What is the reduced time? Reduced time here means, suppose the cancellation is taking 120 seconds. In FAT, it will be done only 12 seconds. Only it will be 10% of that one is used. That is the reduced time. It means FAT can be done quite quick. Interface with input-output card, intercommunication is not checked as EI hardware is not used. Everything is simulated. So interlocking equipment hardware we are not using. We are directly simulating it according to that FAT is done. Tests conducted are negative tests. What is negative test? You will be covering, it will be covered more in detail in the training course. And cross table test, that is square sheet method. I will show you what is the square sheet method, how it is done. FAT is to validate the application software. Now, here are two things here. Of late in this interlocking system has come verification and validation. In fact, there is a very good demand for verification and validation engineers. We never thought that this verification and validation will carry such an extent. I'll be getting the request from different companies to provide the profiles of V and V engineers. It is very difficult for me to get the profiles of V and V engineers. The purpose is ensure that the interlocking system fulfills the station interlocking and route control chart requirements and working in safe manner, even if any false inputs or information is received. That is validation. Minimize the site errors and risks and reduces the correction at site. After taking to site, we should not go with more correction. Whatever corrections are required, do it at the factory level, so that within less time, within less downtime, non-interlocking time, with the shortest non-interlocking time, you can energize the electronic equipment, electronic interlocking. This results in saving time at the site. We can reduce the time, especially the NI time, non-interlocking time, because during the non-interlocking, the trains are getting delayed. Trains have to be piloted. Point has to be set locally. I hope most of you are signal engineers. You are aware of what you mean by NI working. FAT is carried out through simulation setup. Field inputs are simulated. And FAT is carried out only through video panel, whereas site is carried out through CCIP, that central interlocking panel and video panels, if both operations available at site. You can connect it to CCIP and also video through which it will be connected, that is SAT. To speed up the testing, the timer values are modified from 120 seconds to 12 seconds, because when you do a cancellation, it takes 2 minutes, 120 seconds. To speed up the time, that will be adjusted to 12 seconds during the FAT. IO boards are also simulated. No hardware will be connected. The input and output boards are simulated here. Field input outputs are disabled and will be directly delivered into the simulator video. That is the under FAT. Various inputs are required to perform FAT. Details in the detailed training program. In the detailed training program, we will be giving you what are the different inputs you require to conduct a FAT. FAT is carried out only through video panel, whereas SAT is carried out through CCIP. I hope this is repeating. Yeah, this is the factory acceptance test, how it is being done. One of the photograph you can see here. Here you can see the table of control and different panels here. And this is the table of control you are going ahead. So a detailed procedure is done for FAT. Now this is the square sheet method. Square sheet method will be generally covering the conflicting signal locking. How the conflicting signals are to be locked, which signal to be locked, which signal need not be locked. That will be tested through the square sheet method while doing the FAT. Now coming to SAT, site acceptance test. In SAT, similar tests are performed at site with interlocking electronic equipment, hardware, and simulation panel in first stage. We'll again put in only a simulation panel in the first stage and we'll test it. Correspondence and interface tests are also performed after interfacing the field gears. What is correspondence? If the knob on the panel or the command for the point is given in the normal, whether the point is also in the normal or not in the field, that is called as correspondence. The command given and the state of the gear in the site, whether they are corresponding or not, they are matching or not, that is done that a correspondence test. Any other test may also be conducted as required by the vendors. It can be conducted. Logic and interlocking test, control table and cross table, again will be checked at SAT, site acceptance test. Interface and equipment functional test, intercommunication test between subracks also will be conducted during SAT, a laborious process. Because the person who tests it, who conducts the test, he has to certify the system is safe to run a train. So before signing the document, a safety certificate, the railway representative, the officer has to test it doubly, ensure that it is quite safe. SAT defines the procedure for site testing of station interlocking system to safety the site environment. Depending upon the site environment, depending upon the site equipment, whether it is safe or not. That is SAT. SAT mainly involves system integrity and functional tests. What are the different functional tests we conduct here? Maybe negative testing of signals, positive setting of signals, track locking, approach locking, indication locking, back locking, sectional route release. Everything will be tested in the signal acceptance test, site acceptance test. Interlocking test shall be carried out with full setup except the track side equipment. Carried out for each station separately again. As we already mentioned that application logic key itself is a different for each station. Equally, the SAT also will be carried separately for each station. SAT ensures all the equipment installed at site are functioning correctly and working in a safe manner. SAT is the last. Site acceptance test is the last in the series. Once SAT is done and satisfied, the equipment will be used now for connecting. Ensures overall system safety and error-free system. And various tests conducted during SAT details in the training. What are the different tests we are conducting in the SAT? We'll be covering more in detail in the coming classes. So this is how the SAT is being conducted. A logical rack, and it's connected to electronic interlocking system, operating panel, maintenance panel, the data logger input, even the data logger inputs also, input also will be tested during the SAT. And the relay interlocking will be taken as input, and the relay output also will be tested during the SAT. So this is how a SAT is being conducted, which we will be learning more in detail in the coming classes. There are different standbys: hot standby, warm standby, cold standby. Details you will learn in detailed training. Where we have to use hot standby, where we are using warm standby, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, how much money is involved for this. Everything we will learn in the detailed training. We also learn about the troubleshooting. What are the troubleshooting points? Where problems may arise, we will be learning in the troubleshooting. And maintenance of electronic equipment. As we claim it is no maintenance at all, but still for all, there are some maintenance carried out on electronic interlock system. So that we'll be covering in more in detail in the coming training. Earthing arrangements, what should be the earthing procedure, how the earth should be given, and what should be the maximum earth resistance we can have. That all will be covered in the detailed training program. Especially wherever electronic equipments are used in signaling, the earthing is very important. And that too, when we are going with the railway electrification, the earthing plays a major role. So in the earlier days, the earthing was not carrying a important role. But nowadays, it is carrying an important role. The earth resistance has to be maintained within the limits. Knowledge of testing procedures, and this is the troubleshooting. Now coming to what are the prerequisites to attend this training? Very important. Number one is, you need to know the basics of computers. I hope it is nowadays very common. Even the first grade guy, second grade guy also is learning about the basics of the computers. You need to know what are the basics of computers, how to operate a computer, how to save a file, how to copy, all this you are learning. Then you need to have the basic signaling knowledge. That makes you learn electronic interlocking easily. Even though it may not be mandatory, but if you ask at that time some questions like approach locking, back locking, route locking, the trainer may not have time to explain that. For that purpose, it is better to know the basic signaling knowledge. And as a signal engineer, need to know the knowledge of table of control, how the table of control is prepared, what are the different columns there. And that information is quite important. Knowledge of relay circuits, how the different relay circuits are prepared, like logical circuits are there, field circuits are there, field driving, gear driving circuits are there, crank handle circuits are there. What are those circuits? Then it becomes easy for you to pick up the electronic interlocking application logic writing. Knowledge of testing procedures. This is very important. This will be generally with the field engineers. The field engineers will be aware of what are the different tests they conduct. A negative testing, track locking, and approach locking, back locking, route locking. They are all doing it as a routine. Even in our training courses also, we are covering that. What are the different tests conducted? So these are the preconditions for everybody to attend this training. And the training details, the training will be conducted from Monday to Friday. The date will be announced by Sumit, and he will tell you the more details. Every day it will be between 7 to 9, Monday to Friday. We have a learning management system wherein the recording will be uploaded. You can access this learning management system recording, not only this pertaining to electronic interlocking, your classes, but also what are the other recordings available in our LMS. You can access for next 1 year. We create a mail group and also WhatsApp group through which the general communication, common communication will be carried out. We have online assessment, the details of which will be given during the training. So definitely an online assessment. And minimum 60% is the passing mark for the online assessment. People who are scoring more than 60, they will get the certificate for having successfully completed the training. So this is how the procedure goes here. Now I will hand over to Mr. Sumit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll stop my sharing, Sumit.
Sure, sir.
And after this commercials, we'll have the interaction, question answers.
Yes.
Please stay with me, please.
Right. So thank you very much, Narayan sir, and thank you participants for being there. So we are planning to start a 40 hours certificate course in electronic interlocking, and I have a very good news which I'll be sharing towards the end of my presentation also. So the classes we are planning to start from 4th of July, and so the objective of this particular course is to make sure that the participants who join this course program learn interlocking process and electronic interlocking, hardware information from signal interlocking plan. They should be able to prepare bit chart for signaling layout using SIP and front plate drawing. They should be able to understand the compilation of software, factory acceptance test, site acceptance test, maintenance of electronic interlocking, troubleshooting issues, and etc. So eligibility for this course program has already been explained by Narayan sir. So I'll skip this slide. So what is this course going to be covering? So in 40 hours, we'll be covering interlocking concepts. We'll be looking at how to adopt the concepts for electronic interlocking. Then we look at understanding hardware and software aspects of and concepts. Then testing of electronic interlocking for safe working through FAT and SAT. So we'll be covering all of this within 40 hours live online training. So this course is divided across 4 modules. So the first module is all about fundamentals of electronic interlocking, which is of 10 hours duration, which starts with concepts, basic inputs and outputs, various modes of interlocking, then general concepts of electronic interlocking, concepts of hardware, software, what is the need for factory acceptance test, and what is the need for site acceptance test. So all of these topics will be covered in 10 hours duration, and this will comprise the first module, which is fundamentals of electronic interlocking. Going to module 2, which will be of 20 hours, we'll be covering hardware configuration, structure of software, preparation of bit charts, interfacing the external peripherals, how to do that, then power supply arrangements, operating panels, various languages used for writing application logics, compilation of application logics, understanding vital and non-vital bits. So we'll be covering all of these in 20 hours, and we call this module study of electronic interlocking. So this is going to be a deep dive into the subject. Module 3, which is of 8 hours, will cover various tests conducted for electronic interlocking. So need for, what is the need for factory acceptance test, need for site acceptance test, procedure for conducting FAT and SAT, various documents, which is very important related to FAT and SAT. What are the authorities associated with FAT and SAT? So we'll be covering and getting into detail around these topics for 8 hours in the module 3. Module 4 will be talking about various products and other activities connected with electronic interlocking. So we'll be covering this module in 2 hours. So we'll be covering study of various products in general. What are the earthing arrangements, power supply arrangements, care to be taken for internal and external circuits, communication arrangements. So we'll cover all of these in 2 hours. In total, all the modules comprise 40 hours. What skills you will be acquiring? You'll be well acquainted with the learning concepts of electronic interlocking. You'll be able to prepare bit charts. You'll be able to understand the concepts of application logic. You'll also know the detailed procedure for conducting factory acceptance test and site acceptance test. So after the course, you'll be well equipped to do all of the activities I've just mentioned. Assessments. So for certification from Railway Academy, there will be 100 marks online MCQ based test after the course is completed, and you need to secure 60% marks to become eligible to obtain certificates. You will get 2 attempts to qualify the test free of cost. So up till now, almost 99% people have qualified the test that we have kept for assessment within 2 attempts. So support, as sir mentioned, for people who may not be able to attend classes regularly, we'll be sharing the daily class recordings and presentation slides through our LMS, which is our learning management system. So you'll all the people who will enroll into our course program will get access to the LMS. There will be classroom assessments for better practice. Faculty will be sharing practice assessments with you so that you are able to understand the implications of the concepts that you're learning. There will be a very good, as these are live courses, and so hence there will be a lot of interactions with the participants. Of course, there will be offline support during and after training through our WhatsApp group and email group support. So it's fairly interactive course program with the faculty, and people who have already attended our previous course programs are well aware that how much of support Railway Academy offers to its participants and students. Now, training is going to be starting from 4th of July, every weekday, Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, online through Zoom platform. Participants need to join 5 minutes before the class. So we've already shared that. And so the course fee, coming back to the course fees, the course fees is 35,000, inclusive of GST of 18%, 6,300 rupees. There is an early bird special offer we are rolling, which is with 30% discount offer. So if you register before 26th of June, you'll be getting this course program for 24,500 rupees, which includes the GST of 18%. For people who would like, so there are very interesting group discount schemes that we have rolled out. So for people who will be registering in groups, the same course will be available to them for 21,000 rupees. For people who will be registering in groups of 5, 18,500 rupees will be the offer price. And people who will be registering, usually organizations who nominate their employees. So you can speak to your organization to nominate your colleagues and other employees for this training program. So there are corporate registration offer of 16,500 if we get about 10%, 10 plus registration either in a group or from one organization. For people who would like to enroll in EMI plans, so you can register for the course program with 8,500 rupees at the time of registration and pay balance through 2 EMIs within 40 days of the course commencement. So this is the special offer. Now, as I spoke about so discount analysis, if you look at it, so on the course fees, there is a first single registration offer, which is early bird registration. The discount is 30%, and for 10%, which moves up by 40%, 47%, and up to 54% for if you register in a group of 10. So which implies that you shall be getting a world-class live training of 40 hours on electronic interlocking, around 328 rupees per hour. So if you break this 13,120 rupees across 40 hours, the training cost incurred on you or training investment incurred on you is rupees 328 per hour, which is probably, I think, the lowest presently, the most cost-effective training available in the entire world. So for people, so this training program is available to you at INR 328 rupees per hour to 528 rupees per hour. So this is the kind of offers that we have rolled out for this training. Now coming back to the interesting news which I wanted to share with you, we are in collaboration with TUV SUD to offer certification to this course program. So by the time you'll be finishing your course program, an additional certification will be offered to you at an additional fees, of course, from a third-party certification body, which is TUV SUD, very reputed across the world, especially Europe and Southeast Asia. So you will also get an internationally recognized certification option to upgrade your certificate at an additional fee. So we are working on that, and for people who register it, will definitely get this opportunity at a good offer as well. So if you have any questions, let me take up some of the questions. So we would be sharing the course brochure and the session recording with all of you very soon, maybe tonight or most probably by tomorrow morning. So for people who are interested, can actually contact us on the numbers given here. So you can call me on the numbers shown here, or WhatsApp on the other number that I've shared, or email us, and we'll be happy to respond to your queries. So Ali Sham classes will be on weekdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And okay, so if you have any questions related to the course program, please feel free to ask. So I'm putting the summary slide of the course offers here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions. And Narayan sir, we can take up the rest of the technical questions now. And
yeah, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
sir. Yeah, I am ready.
Yes, sir. So
People can unmute and ask the questions, please, if anybody is having any queries. Most of the questions were asked and we have replied. There is one message here. Please to attend this webinar. Thank you. That's good.
So there's a question which Srinivasan had asked me earlier also. What is the scope for entrepreneurs in EI? So
what is the scope for?
Entrepreneurs for starting their own business in around electronic interlocking. So I see a lot of scope from a consultant point of view. So we work with a lot of consultants, and I see there's a huge opportunity which is emerging for people who have subject knowledge of electronic interlocking. So you can work as consultants with many organizations. Vikas Kalia, IRSC eligibility criteria. Vikas, please send me an email on inquiry, and I will be happy to share some of the past webinar recordings with you where we have discussed IRSC Module A eligibility, as well as how to prepare for it in detail. You can visit our YouTube channel also to go through the videos. There are 3 videos which are there which cover the IRSC aspect in a lot of detail. Okay, is this course is free for PG diploma? No, Imran, this course is not free for PG Diploma, but please contact us. We'll be able to accommodate. Yes. Somnath, okay, in this course, can we learn how to prepare application logic? Yes, conceptual level application logics is definitely clear. Narayan sir, would you like to add something on this?
Yeah, you are okay. You are correct.
Yes. Okay, Madhu Kumar is asking what is the basic education qualification. So as such, we are not limited by the educational qualification as such. You can be diploma holder, you can be an engineer. What we are actually looking at is we're looking at candidates who know concepts of signaling, because this course is not going to be covering signaling concepts. So this is an advanced level course program. So you must have basic signaling knowledge with you. And if you have basic knowledge of interlocking, it would be definitely preferred. Otherwise, you'll have to work a little bit harder at your end to absorb the topics of interlocking, right? So this is required. So no educational qualification is mandatory in terms of the degrees or diplomas that you have. But only thing that is required is you to have understanding of signaling concepts and interlocking. That is all. Okay, anything else anybody would like to ask here? Yes, thank you. Okay, so if there are any questions related to the course program or today's webinar or electronic interlocking, please feel free to ask. We'll be happy to respond. I think, okay. So I think we can conclude the session today.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for attending this wonderful webinar, a long-awaited webinar it is. And we'll meet again on 4th July with the trainer who will be imparting this training. Thank you very much. We'll introduce the trainer during the training program on 4th of July. Let us see on 4th of July. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sumit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening. Thank you.